Well, this week is National Grain Bin Safety Week, and it runs through February 28th, and it's important to be mindful of the dangers when working in a grain bin. According to researchers at Purdue University, at least 26 U.S. workers died in 2010 because of grain engulfments. That's the highest number on record, which is why the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation is doing something about it. Irwinville grain farmer Donald Schexnayder is giving Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation Safety Director Wendell Miley what's become an annual tour of the grain bins on his farm. Both men know the dangers of working around and inside these bins, even when they're empty.
From slips, trips, and falls to working in the grain bin whenever it's empty, cleaning it out, and possibly somebody turning on the auger while somebody's cleaning it out would be a very serious concern, as well as what goes into an actual rescue if somebody is actually entrapped in a grain bin.
Trapped under tons of grain. Schexnayder says that's why during harvest season he has his workers use the buddy system.
I always make sure if that somebody has to enter a bin, have two people up there, one washing while the other one, if he has something he has to do around there. If there's something broke, make sure there's another person that knows what's going on.
It can be the difference between life and death. According to published news reports, so far this year at least 3 men died getting engulfed by grain inside of grain bins. One in Kentucky, one in North Carolina, and the most recent in Illinois.
Getting into a grain bin that's full of grain, and then that flowing grain where there's a pocket of air there, that grain begins to collapse with you on top of that grain and suck you down into that grain bin, is with that corn all around you, is really probably the biggest concern that we should have as a safety professionals, and making sure that our farmers are quite aware of that.
It's also important for first responders to know how to rescue someone trapped in a grain bin, what tools to use, and how not to ignite grain dust. That's why the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation is again working with the National Education Center for Agricultural Safety to conduct 3 grain bin safety classes like this one.
The first one's going to be back in Caddo Parish. We did one in the northern part of the parish for those 2 groups. This year it's going to be just for the local volunteer firemen and rescue. Farmers are invited to come listen in, but there's going to be a little longer session that'll allow more firemen and rescue personnel to actually go through the training in rescuing someone. And then another one in Crowville, the first one's on Monday, February 23rd, the second one Tuesday, February 24th. It's going to be a farmer session around noonish for area farmers. Several parishes around are going to be invited to come. And then that evening, several volunteer firemen and rescue folks will be trained in rescue procedures as well.
For more information, just click over to our website at twilatv.org.